First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this is your brother Dawaba from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And as you see on my phone screen here, I got a video by Redacted, and the title of that video is Surely This Isn't About to Happen in the USA. And what this video is about, and I'm only going to play one small part of it. I could play actually a large portion of it, but there's only one small part I want to play. It might be about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. But what they're talking about in here is this bill that was introduced March 7th of this year, and they're trying to introduce it again to sit up here and see if it'll pass. And it was called the TikTok ban bill, but even though it doesn't have the actual name TikTok on it, this is what it was referring to. But they're talking about the implications it could really have, and this could be one of those bills, if it is passed, that can bring in the famine of the word. But before I let him play, I'm going to sit up here, and before I let that part play, I'm going to sit up here and get I pulled up the bill online. I'm going to read it. But before I do that, let me get a scripture real quick, and then we can go right into it. This is, I want to say this is Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And that's what these devils do, man. The so-called white man, he framing all his mischief by law. Now here it is. They're gonna introduce this bill and try to put it into law, which bans people from using more or less TikTok, or ban TikTok in general. And I think when you listen to the guy from Redacted, he said it's like 150 million people in America that use TikTok. And if you go by Esau's, count, that's just a little bit less than half the American population. Just a little bit less than half. So my whole point is, man, hey, that famine of the word could be coming real fast, real soon. But with that, man, let me sit up here and go ahead and no, actually, you know what? No, I'll let that play. Go ahead. I'm going to let this play.
Rand Paul, who really, I think, dismantles and really shows you exactly what's at stake by censoring this app and free speech. Watch.
Senator from Missouri.
Madam President, let me just finish with this, that the Senator from Kentucky decried the collection of personal data by American social media companies, and he's right to do that, by the way. I'm concerned about that too, no doubt. But he pointed out that many American social media companies collect all of this information, that they do it without the user's consent. Sometimes they sell it to third parties for a profit, and you can't necessarily opt out of it. All fair enough. But he is protecting exactly what he decries. The difference is with TikTok, that information is going to a hostile foreign government. It's not a market, it's total control. So I would just say this to Americans out there who are using TikTok. Just know this. We need to tell you the truth about this app. Just know this. If you have it on your phone, it is tracking your keystrokes. It is tracking your movements. It is tracking your location. And it is sending that information, whether you want it sent or not, to Beijing, to the Communist Chinese Party, where it can be accessed by anybody there who wants it under China's national security laws. That is a threat to your personal security, and that is why we should act to ban it. Let me just finally ask Senator from Kentucky, he and I talked about this before, would the senator consider allowing us to set a roll call vote, an up or down roll call vote, not unanimous consent to pass, but to set a roll call vote at a time certain? Would the senator consent to that?
Madam President,
Senator from Kentucky.
reserving the right.
So y'all heard what he said. I'm not going to get to Senator Rand Paul. He was totally against it, but y'all heard how smooth dude was sounding. I mean, he was sounding smooth. I mean, making a compelling argument. Oh, yeah, China's going to have y'all information and all this other stuff, which is bullshit. The only reason they want to ban TikTok is it's something that they cannot control. See, they can control Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all these other social platforms, media platforms. What they can't control is TikTok. And TikTok has a lot of information going out that's hurting these devils. And they want to get it under control. And that's really the main reason. But I'm finna sit up here and read this law to you that they talking about passing. Salakia. And this was one of the main things that the people in Redacted, Natalie and I think his name is Clayton Morris, they were talking about exactly. See, Esau loved putting his words and making his, twisting his words when he writes them and puts them in laws, so he can bend them to his will anytime he want to. Now sit up here and get this is Bill S-686. It's called restricting the emergence of security threat that risks Information and Communication Technology Act, or the Restrict Act. This bill requires federal actions to identify and mitigate foreign threats to information and communication technology products and services, e.g. social media application. It also establishes civil and criminal penalties for violations under the bill. So if they pass this bill, in which Clayton and Natalie was talking about, another guy, I think his name is David, they were sitting up here talking about, that if they pass this bill, it's just not going to go after TikTok. It's going to ban other stuff. And then they saying you can have criminal penalties against you if you say certain things. So this is just another way to demonize and come after the men of the Lord, first and foremost, and to sit up here and even and probably even sit up here and charge us a crime, depending on what we say, and if this bill pass. So my thing is, this is just another this is just another this is just another way to get to that famine of the word, Salakia. So with that, man, let me sit up here and go. But there's another point I want to sit up here and make before I get this other scripture, because I want to go to Psalms 55, because, that dude was sounding smooth, man. His argument was so smooth. This is Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And look how smooth that senator, I think his name was Josh, look how smooth his words were. He's like, oh, they can use your information. This is going to China. This is going to pretty much an enemy of the United States right now, And this is how he's putting it out there, but that's not the real reason. That's bullshit. But he's making it such a compelling argument that people are going to fall for it. You're going to have fools that fall for this for bullshit that these guys say because of the smooth words. And then that restricting act, they're going to sit up here and think that act is just toward foreign policies. No. Like I said, Esau loved to play on his words. That act, what did it say? Social media. Anything that they deem disinformation, misinformation, or criminal information, they can come at you for. So with that, let me sit up here and get Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And those unrighteous decrees, those unrighteous laws, all these things that they put on the books, everything that they put out there to sit up here and hurt people, Now here it is. Now they talking about this social media platform where if you say certain things, And like I said, TikTok is just one of the many social media platforms where people are saying something. It's just that they mad that they can control TikTok due to the fact that it's under China's control, and that's their issue about it. That's their reason behind it, But that's the only reason behind it. This is Isaiah 10 and 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. But really, what I want to get out of this was Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's destruction to these clowns, man. Because all they trying to do is bring in that famine of the word. All they trying to do is demonize people. All they sit up here trying to do is take information that they don't want people to have. That's it. That's all, because this devil is getting exposed. He's getting exposed bad. But all this is going to lead to that famine of the word. Let me sit up here and go to that Amos, because that's really the point. They're about to sit up here and When they shut down this social media and shut down YouTube and all these platforms, hey, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap. Amos 8 and 11, behold, the days coming, said the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And that's really what's going to happen, because they're going to, hey, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all these social platforms are going to be, Facebook, all this stuff is going to be shut down soon. When this devil come with that wrath, he's going to shut down all this shit. And people going to be running around with their heads cut off, wondering, hey, where to get information, wondering what's happening, wondering what's going on, not having a clue. It's going to be too late then. Hey, the doors of mercy going to be closed at that time, But I advise brothers to listen to that whole thing from Redacted. It was really, it was really good information. They said a lot, and that I don't know when that bill's supposed to be passed. They did say it on there, and I kind of skipped my mind when they said they're going to be voting on it. But I advise brothers to look at it. But like I said before, it kind of skipped my mind when they said they're going to be voting on this bill. But I know Rand Paul turned it down. I know he stood up here and said it doesn't get his vote. He declined it. So they might be voting on it today. They might have voted on it yesterday. But whether either the case, if it do pass, man, hey, be ready. That could be that bill that bring in that famine of the word. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the overall that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharella and Abba Babal. Shalom.